Hello Bishes, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be teaching you all how to make money off of these babies. And if you're wondering what the hell are these are actually my original sketchbook tours that I shared on YouTube back during my CalArt student days. This is what I was just doing during my spare time or doodling in classes, just because I felt like I wasn't really doing anything personal art related and I really missed that. So I started sharing them on YouTube, and this is also during a time that I did not have like the number of followers that I have today. So just know that this is something that you can still do even when your following count is not like humongous. So while you don't need to have a huge following for this, you still need an audience of some sort just to even have customers in the first place. So know that you don't need to have hundreds and thousands of followers just to be able to create sketchbooks to sell, but you still need a group or a community at the least to even know that you're creating these and want to buy them from you. But other than that, some other things that you will need are, of course, a sketchbook, drawing materials, a Gumroad account, or some online shop that can allow you to post digital files to sell, and a scanner or, a really good camera to upload your work. And like I said, you might need a following or at least just a community of some sort where you can promote your work. This can be a Facebook group, your personal Facebook, or just platform that you use with your family and friends, your Instagram, or just wherever you want to share your work. So one of the reasons why I suggest having a small sketchbook is because you're more likely going to finish this than a big sketchbook, which might seem very daunting. You might never finish it, and then you're like, well, why did I even do this in the first place if this shit doesn't fucking work? So that's why I highly encourage you to just start off with small sketchbooks so you can at least have a completed product to upload on the page in the first place. So I kind of did this when I was in college or in art school. So if you are also an art student or a college student or just a student in general, you can probably just do this while doodling in class, even though, some people might argue against doodling in class, but I think that some people like myself concentrate better while doodling. And even so, I know a lot of art students who actually combine their note-taking notebook with sketches. But if you want to have a completed product that you can upload online, if you feel comfortable enough to do it with your class notes, I guess go ahead and do so, as long as all the work that you're writing inside of it is allowed to be uploaded. Or you can just, again, carry a small little notebook with you along with your class notes and just work on this while you're in class. I don't know why, but I'm starting to get a little self-conscious about mentioning doodling in class. Like, I feel like I'm gonna get in trouble for saying that. So make sure you know if you're allowed to doodle in class or not. But as far as I know, as an art student, it was okay for us to doodle in class. So do this at your own discretion. So while you're drawing in these sketchbooks, it's gonna take some time. This stuff is not gonna finish overnight, so it's not like you can just finish a sketchbook overnight unless if you really have that willpower to go through all of these pages. So one way that I like to keep my viewers or audience members aware that I'm working on something that they might eventually be interested in purchasing or downloading, I will just upload my progress as I'm working on the sketchbook. So on YouTube, I would sometimes upload videos of myself drawing out the pages, or I would just do the full sketchbook tour when I'm done with it. But also during this time, I would upload some sneak peeks of it on my Instagram or even on my Twitter, which I don't even use anymore. And people would just know that, oh my gosh, I'm in the middle of doing this work. Then when I'm done with the sketchbook, I will then upload it on YouTube and show the full sketchbook tour, which is what most of you have been seeing on this channel. Some of you might be wondering, well, why would you show everyone all of the pages on YouTube if you're gonna have this just special for people who want to download it? The way that I kind of approach it is more like, oh, when you're looking at a video, you're never really getting the full image to its, most detailed quality or highest quality, just because you're looking at it through the form of a video where things are pixelated. I'm kind of moving the page around, like you got my thumb in the page and you might not want that. And I feel like sometimes people prefer just having the JPEGs or just the full image as an image file and just use it as reference inspiration. And either way, I feel like uploading my sketchbooks on YouTube helped promote the sketchbook more so than preventing people from wanting to buy it just because I shared it online already. So after I finish my sketchbook, I pretty much scan in all of the drawings. However, I do suggest that if you have a bad scanner, it actually might sometimes be better to just take like a high quality photo of your sketchbook. So just make sure that whatever machine you're using to upload the full image file onto whatever platform you plan to share these documents on will be high quality enough for the person to really just not have any trouble looking through all of the pages. So once I'm done scanning in my sketchbooks, I pretty much just put them all in a folder, and then I will compress it into a zip file and upload them onto Gumroad. So you can really use whatever digital platform of your choice. I know some people upload digital files on Etsy, but for me, Gumroad was just easier for me to just upload these sketchbooks, and that's just what I did from my experience. So I'm just sharing what I did from my personal experience. So Gumroad was the platform I used, and no, this video was not sponsored by Gumroad, but it is sponsored by Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community that offers thousands of creative classes from illustration, animation, film and video, and more. If you're a creative person looking for a place to learn new skills, Skillshare is the place where you can pick up a new passion or hobby. And if you're someone who wants to make a sketchbook and potentially sell it on Gumroad too, but you're intimidated by the idea of having to complete the whole thing, stick around to the end of the video and I'll have a class that might help you be consistent with finishing it. But yeah, going back to Gumroad, that's where I upload my sketchbooks, and that is also the place where you can upload a file to kind of represent your sketchbook. So what I normally do for these promotional images for my sketchbook is I'll take at least 6 images that I like from my sketchbook and I'll compile it onto a cover that I will then upload and just, put a title on it and put the price if I need to. And that can help people get a glimpse of what types of drawings or what's the style of the sketchbook that they're getting into. I think it's personally more helpful than just having one sketchbook image or just one cover image that might not really represent what's inside. I feel like people would just rather buy what they know they're going to be buying instead of, buying something that they don't really know if they're gonna like it in the end. So I feel like having the videos, having previews of it on Instagram, and having a cover that shows what are the contents inside the sketchbook helps more than just a standard cover that you would make for a book. And I would also write about how many pages they're going to be seeing and also how many bonus pages they'll be getting, because even though I did share all of my stuff online, there are still some unseen illustrations, doodles, and drawings that I've done that I never really showed anyone. They're mainly in the back of notebooks or just things I did really randomly, so I'll just put those as additional bonus pages just because I feel like if you're purchasing something, you do deserve that extra little brownie. So after you upload these, you might be wondering, what do I price them as? What is the right price to price my sketchbooks for? And that is always a very debatable question just because it's not a commission and it's not a physical sketchbook that people are getting. They're just getting a download. So what I did was I ended up pricing mine anywhere between $3 to $10 or so. And the reason why I did that was because at first, a lot of these sketchbooks I did were not intentionally for making money. They were just kind of getting me back to making personal art, and I just wanted to share it in case if anyone was interested in purchasing them. In fact, what I think of these sketchbook downloads as is more of like a tipping jar, just because I just drew in the sketchbook once. I didn't have to keep drawing every time that someone purchased it. So I kind of priced it more for the fact that you're just downloading it to get the physical high quality version of it. So I priced any of the ones that took a really short amount of time to do, and I priced those as like $3. And what happens is, even if you don't have like tens and millions of followers, if you have a good number of followers that purchase that $3, it's that number of purchasers times $3, and that equals a lot more than, maybe if you price this at a higher cost but not as many people might buy them. There were times where if I really intentionally wanted to make a sketchbook for the sake of, making money, I would price it a little bit higher just because I intentionally was making it for the customer and I was really dedicating it for people who were buying it. So I did make a tutorial that I posted on my Etsy instead, actually, that was about how I made my comics on Instagram, and that is kind of also like a digital download just like these. However, I also included a video walking through how I make my comics and, you know, the step-by-step process of how I bring one from start to finish. So for those, I actually priced higher because, again, I'm intentionally making it for the customers who are interested in purchasing. So those I would price anywhere between $10 and above, depending on the amount of effort for those. But again, for a sketchbook that I just did for myself, it's more like a tipping jar than a place for me to get a buttload of money. And lastly, I would say the amount of money that you make off of this is really up to you. I kind of, for myself, view this more as like pocket money where, you know, you just get additional cash and that's really nice to have, but this is not something that I would say like I live off of this. However, there are, again, people I know that do this professionally and this is their life, this is their job, where maybe instead of sketchbooks they're uploading full-on tutorials or full-on beautiful sketchbooks or things that are offering advice and teaching people how to do things. So, you know, what is the quote? Like, the world is your oyster. But yeah, this ultimately was a way that really helped me get motivated back into doing personal art, and I hope that if any of you out there are struggling with that, maybe this might help you too. And for any of you who might be struggling with entrepreneurship and getting yourself to share your work, or vice versa, where you're struggling to complete a sketchbook, well, I got a special message from our sponsor who might be able to help you out. So lucky for you, Skillshare is offering the first 1,000 of my subscribers who click the link in the description box below to get a free trial of premium membership so you can go find ways to improve on your art or explore new ways of creating it. There are classes like freelance and entrepreneurship for anyone interested in pursuing their own business or career, and also a bunch of creative art classes. So with those two hand in hand, you can learn about starting your own business as an artist. There's a class taught by Mike Lowry that talks about how to start and keep a daily sketchbook. One of my struggles with sketchbooks were literally always starting them and figuring out ways to fill them in, but this video gives great tips on what to do with the first page, challenges you can do in 30 minutes, and the class only takes 37 minutes to listen to. Mike's style is also super appealing, so it's an eye candy to watch. And another thing that might appeal to you is that there are no ads and new premium classes always launching, and with an annual subscription, this is all less than $10 a month. So if you're interested, check out the link in the description box below to start learning. Anyway, whether if you're a student working full-time or you have art as just a hobby and you just want to make some additional cash off of your artwork, this is definitely a potential path for you if you're interested in just making your sketchbooks and uploading them online for people to download and look at. So yeah, thank you for watching this video, and as always, thank you so much for your support and all of you who watched my sketchbook tours and downloaded my sketchbook back in my college years. It feels really weird to even think about that time period now when I was just sitting in the labs and just like scanning in my sketchbooks and then uploading them during the weekends. And now we're here and I'm talking about the process so that you all can do it too. But yeah, I will see you all in the next one. So peace out and stay wholesome, bitches.